I'm sure you've all heard the expression, good things come in small packages. Well, that's true of this raised bed. I was a little surprised that they could fit everything in such a small box. There were 4 curved panels and 8 straight panels. Then there was a bag of nuts and bolts and a wrench inside there also. And there was an instruction manual that was very easy to follow. Finally, there was a rod that's used to brace the center of the raised bed so it doesn't bow out in the middle. There's also some rubber edging that goes all the way around the top. I assembled it inside of our garage so I'd have a flat surface to work on, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to tighten the nuts with the wrench that's provided. It's very easy to do, and you'll be finished before you know it. Before assembling, make sure you remove the protective film from each panel. Since we have moles and gophers, I put 2 layers of landscape fabric underneath the raised bed. Alright, the first thing I'm doing is lining the bottom with cardboard. This is a step that I could have skipped because I've got landscape fabric underneath it. The only reason I have the landscape fabric is we have a real problem with gophers, and I don't want them up in my raised bed, so that's why I have that. But if you're just putting it on top of the soil, if you've got grass or weeds or anything like that, this cardboard is a very important step. It'll help suppress those and kill them out before they have a chance to sprout up. One way you can save a lot of money when filling this raised bed is to use the hugelkultur method. Hugelkultur is a method that's been used for a long time. I'm not sure how far it goes back. It starts by piling logs on the bottom. I didn't have a lot of large logs, but you want to start with dead wood. You don't want to use green wood because it takes too long to decompose, and it also might tie up some nitrogen while it is decomposing. Then you layer 20% branches and sticks on top of the 40% logs. And then on top of those, you put plant waste such as grass clippings, leaves, kitchen scraps, and that sort of thing, about 25%. And then 10% compost, and on top 5% topsoil. You don't have to stick to that exact formula, but as long as you can put some wood, some dead wood down at the bottom and some compostable material, it'll save you quite a bit of money. After putting in my logs, the sticks, some compostable material like leaves and table scraps and that sort of thing, I decided to fill quite a bit with homemade compost. A good portion of our homemade compost was made by composting leaves, table scraps, and other items, even eggshells. If I had to guess the percentage, I would say I probably added about 30% compost to my raised bed. For my top layer, I used the same mix that I'm using in my grow bags, and that's a mixture of used soil, new soil, some peat moss, and some homemade compost. Then before planting, I watered it real well a couple of times and let it rain on it a couple of times. That way I could see how much it was going to settle. Then I topped it off. When planting, just plant like you would in any other raised bed or in the ground. There are a few advantages to having a raised bed, and one of those advantages is it's up off the ground and makes it harder for rabbits to eat your lettuce and other crops. You also don't have to bend over as far to plant, which might be helpful to some folks who have back trouble. The panels are made of value zinc, which is made to last over 20 years. I planted some of my favorite pepper crosses in this raised bed, along with a couple of eggplants and a few other things that I'll talk about more as the season goes on. I'm interested to see if there's less insect pressure on the eggplants from flea beetles and blister beetles. The Vego Garden people sent me this bed to try out and share with you if I liked it. I do like it quite a bit, and it's going to be a welcome addition to our garden. If you want to check out this bed and their other products, I'll put links down in the description. They also provided me a discount code that you can use to get $10 off your order if you purchase from their website. It's Midwest Gardener 10 off. I'll also put that down in the description. As they say, proof is in the pudding, so if you're on the fence about getting one of these, I would subscribe if you haven't already and follow along and see how this does during the season. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.